Hi, I'm Anne-Marie from Soap Queen TV and brambleberry.com. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to make custom soaps without using custom molds. I'm going to be using water-soluble paper and showing you how to make great wedding favors, birthday gifts, corporate gifts, or anything you need to customize without the expense of a custom mold. What is water-soluble paper? Water-soluble paper is a special form of paper that's been designed to dissolve easily in water. Typical water-soluble paper formulations contain the following ingredients: carboxymethylcellulose, finely divided cellulosic fibers, sodium carbonate, titanium dioxide. CMC is a non-toxic film former used for the thickening of desserts and various edible products. The incorporation of cellulosic fibers in the water-soluble paper formulation results in the formation of a paper-like material which can be torn or cut, similar to the way conventional paper is torn or cut. The sodium carbonate and titanium dioxide give the product an opacity similar to that of conventional paper. And there's our science lesson for the day. Some tips for using water-soluble paper. 1. Use an inkjet. If you use a laser printer, the water-soluble paper will gum up the heat mechanism in your laser, ruining it. So make sure you're using an inkjet printer. 2. Ideally, if you can find pigment-based inks as opposed to water-soluble inks like a food coloring-based ink, they will bleed less in your soap. 3. Allow the paper to set for 2 to 3 days after printing. I've noticed that if the paper sets for 2 to 3 days, it's less prone to bleeding. 4. Use an aerosol can of hairspray to spray a thin layer of hairspray over your print. Water-soluble paper dissolves easily in water. This is a benefit to you and your end user so they don't get balls of paper piling up on them in the shower. See how easy it is to dissolve in water? And voila, it's all gone. It's like magic. To make soap with water-soluble paper, first, melt a very small amount of clear soap. One thing I like to do is the bluing technique. We've discussed this in a previous episode, but basically you take just a very small amount of blue and put it into your clear soap to help make it look like it's water white clear instead of a yellow-based clear. It's important to choose a fragrance that won't discolor your soap in any way. You want your clear soap to be as clear as possible. Here I'm using Moroccan Mint because it's a water white fragrance. Once your soap is melted and you've added your fragrance to it, pour a very thin layer in a plain, flat-bottomed mold. Timing is everything. You want a thin film to form over your clear soap, but you don't want it to totally set up. This takes 1 to 3 minutes. Once a thin film has formed, place your image face down on top of your thin layer of clear soap. Remember, the flat side, the bottom side of the soap, is actually the right side up. Allow this to fully harden now. Make your white soap. Make sure to fragrance this. Temperature is very important. If you accidentally pour your white soap too warm, it may act like water, starting to dissolve your paper before you want it dissolved. Wait till it's about 120 to 130 before you actually pour that second layer. Do a very light spritzing of rubbing alcohol now. You don't want too much because you don't want the rubbing alcohol to accidentally make the ink in your paper bleed. The reason we're using white soap as a background is because it really helps to make the image pop and also the edges of the paper to disappear. Once the soap is cooled down to 120 or 130 degrees, pour gently over the entire soap. You want to make sure you're pouring slowly because you don't want to accidentally dislodge your image. Allow the soap to harden naturally. Please don't put it in a fridge or freezer. This could cause the layers to come apart prematurely. Thanks so much for joining me today on Soap Queen TV. Remember these tips and tricks and you'll make perfect customizable water-soluble paper soaps every single time. Join me next time as I talk about customized wedding favors. Until then, happy soaping! What is water-soluble paper? Water-soluble paper is a product that's been designed to dissolve easily in water. It's primarily